Immigration. In the news, a lot of illegal immigrants here, solutions are being put out. What's your solution to this?
I think you have to do something. We have 11 million people here, undocumented, and we need to figure out a way to document them. I'm for giving them work visas. If you give them work visas, I think then you incorporate them into society, they'll pay taxes and become like the rest of us. In order to do that, though, you have to have a secure border, because you can't invite the world to come visit and stay and say, hey, here's America, come and stay.
Does it have to be first? Does the border have to be first before you?
I think a couple things have to happen. Many conservatives, myself included, we're not very trustful of this administration. We're also not very trustful of government in general to do what they promised to do. In 1986, we did have a plan where we normalized 3 million people. And they said, well, we're going to secure the border. Well, now we have 11 million more people here, so that obviously is sort of objective fact that we didn't secure the border. So what I said is I had an amendment which didn't pass, and so I didn't vote for the bill that came through the Senate. My amendment was called Trust But Verify. It says that Congress should decide when the border is secure. Security should start first. After a year, we vote. Is the border more secure than it was last year? If it is, we proceed with giving people work visas. And we vote every year for 5 years. That way we don't leave it up to the president. We actually bring it back to Congress.
So basically, in some ways, you're talking amnesty here. Give people who are here illegally work visas. Should I be calling my mother up and saying, Mom, get on the plane now, Rand Paul's going to give you amnesty, because I know she'd like to...
I think it's a mistake. I think we dumb down the conversation once we use words like amnesty.
Okay,
because I think what we have now is what I would call de facto amnesty. You have 11 million people here. Some broke the law to come here, but interestingly, when we say amnesty, we don't actually get to the nitty-gritty. Of the 11 million, 40% of them came here legally. They got a visa and they came to this country. How did they become illegal? They chose a job that paid better. If you pick crops in our country, it's about $9 an hour. Construction might be $14 an hour. It's illegal to go from picking crops to construction work. Now, if you or I did it and we were making $9 an hour, our family would come home and applaud us for making more money.
Yeah.
I don't consider that you're a criminal because you want to make more money. So I actually think that many of the people who came here and they have broken our visa laws, it's because big government visa laws aren't working very well. We ought to change it and make it easier for you to switch jobs when you come here.
What about the Republican Party? How is the Republican Party going to come to a consensus on this? There is some infighting over immigration. Right. How does it...
I think we have to work our way through it. First thing is I think you're seeing the Republican Party more open now to discussing immigration reform. Some of that's electoral politics. Elections do teach you things. If you want to win election, you have to learn from them. But I would say with immigration that the lesson is that we should do something. It doesn't mean that we should do anything that comes down the pike, though. And so I'm for doing immigration reform.
So what's a minimum that you have to have, and what line will you not cross?
To me is any bill that comes across has to be expand work visas in a large way to accommodate the need for workers. The second thing it has to do is Congress has to decide when the border is secure, and border security should come first.